Well, hello, my friends. Happy Wednesday. I'm here today with my good friend, Beth English. And today we're going to talk about Instagram. Is Instagram still worth your time? Yes or no? Well, that's a question that we're going to unpack in this episode. So before we do that, Beth, how are you? Good to see you today.
Oh, hi. I'm doing great. So good to see you too.
It's always a pleasure connecting with you every week and just, taking a topic and kind of unpacking it and discussing it and sharing ideas. So today is no different. And we're going to talk a little bit about a topic that it's been a lot in the, people's minds, because particularly of us as artists, as we approach Instagram as a platform to share our art, to connect with the audience and so on, it is becoming increasingly difficult to get around, to get ahead, to grow, and all those things. So there's a lot of obstacles. And today I want to talk about, is it still worth your time doing Instagram? So how do you feel about that before I kind of share my point of view on that?
I can't believe it's a question we're even asking right now, but
Right.
it is bound to come around. A lot of people in my community are exhausted by,
Mhm.
trying to get ahead using social media and not finding themselves getting anywhere fast. And so I
Mhm.
think this is a really great topic because with new platforms like TikTok, I mean, it makes sense that you would be spending more of your energy there. But
Mhm.
I think IG still has a ton of value, a ton of, opportunity, but I think we're going to have to start using it with a little bit more strategy for sure.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great intro to where I want to take this conversation. So I'm going to share with all our friends kind of like 4 reasons why I still believe that it's still a very good platform. And even though with all the, all the things that you just mentioned, and that maybe I'll cover some of them too, even with all that, it's still a very good reason to be on Instagram, to be proactive on it, and to, to be active strategically, as you mentioned, which is key,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's super important because as new platforms come in, there's the normal evolution of a platform. It starts, becomes really easy to grow, or not, at least easier than the others, because
Mm-hmm.
it's new. People are jumping in. There's not as much content, and there's not as much, also marketers, doing the thing. So becomes really fast and easier. You mentioned TikTok, for example, a platform like which both of us are in, also having some good fun there. Now, Clubhouse is another one, which is like audio based. Clubhouse, I also have been spending on some time on that, which is kind of fun. So,
Mm-hmm.
all these things kind of begin to open. So you think about, well, is it still worth my time, Instagram? And so the first thing I want to say is I think it's still a very good reason to stay on Instagram. And the reason is because the art world, still your art community is still right now based on Instagram, even though,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of migration to TikTok and so on. But those who are opening TikTok accounts are not closing their Instagram account either. Actually, there's a lot of cross platform
Right.
where you do create something really cool on TikTok. You say, oh, I think this one might work really well on my Instagram, and vice versa. So I think, having still the art community very much invested in Instagram makes it worthwhile for me. And I think for us as artists to still be connected with that. How do you feel about that?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. You're exactly right. And I think other apps like Clubhouse too, what I've noticed is that they're using that as a platform to share their knowledge and
Mm-hmm.
their voice and drive people to their Instagram
Right.
so that they can then make connections there and sell their
Mm-hmm.
products there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we're going to probably see a lot more of this where our
Mm-hmm.
apps are sort of like crossing over and being used collaboratively
Right.
almost. And I think that's fine,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's get creative with all the ins and outs of how we use these apps so that we continually make it more fun for us and more fun for our audiences to watch.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely. So that's a great reason to stay on it and to be active on it. The second one, second reason why I spend every day, at least going, make a post, connect, interact on my Instagram account, is because you can still build an audience. Now, we all kind of got spoiled with this quick audience building kind of stories and if you jump in on Instagram earlier, it was much easier. Every platform, when you just join in, becomes a lot easier to get your audience because you're one of the early ones now. But that kind of spoils the party for everybody else, because now you feel like, well, I must be doing something wrong, if I'm not growing, right? Or if I'm growing slowly, because you compare yourself to everybody else that has, the bigger accounts, and you feel like, well, I want to do the same. And, the reality is that Instagram is still a good platform. There's still some organic reach, again, not as it used to be, but still some there. And you can still connect, and you can still build an audience, right? And I think more than before, building an audience that is kind of a worthwhile audience. It's not an audience of big numbers, but an audience of people who actually care. I always say it's better to have 100 people who really care than 1,000 that don't, that just follow you because something funny that you posted, but they'll never care about your art, right? Versus the 100 that maybe are really the true fans, and those who are, really interested in what you do. So I think that's the second reason why I think Instagram is still worthwhile staying at.
I mean, you bring up a lot of really great points. And I think at the end of the day, like, make good content, like always be, thinking about like how the quality of it and the story behind it, and like all some of those most basic principles when it comes to content creation. Always keep that in mind. Like, I know we feel this pressure to put out content at a pace that maybe is so much that we're like, the quality of our content maybe is suffering because of it. But, quality is always, I think, so important when it comes to wanting to make those real, true connections with people. And that's still happening, and we can still do that, I think, if we just stick to some of the basics too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you go to the basics, then allows you to really post in a way that, well, the quality is hard to judge, right? Who's going to judge quality, right? But when you do go back to the basics, as you mentioned, I think then quality then rises up to your own expectation of, I'm showing out authentically, and that's, the best quality I can give to my audience, right? So I think that is good. So let's go to number 3, which is connections, right? Connections are also another very important reason that I'm on Instagram every day, because it's not just posting and then my stories, but then my next step, if I go in that sequence, I make my post, I go to my stories, I check on stories, I put my own, and then I go to the messenger, right, where I can connect with others. As you mentioned, Clubhouse, there's no messaging system within Clubhouse, at least not yet. So people are like, hey, if you want to connect with me, go to my Instagram, right? So because in the Instagram, you still are able to connect one-on-one with another one. So, and I found, such meaningful connections through Instagram Messenger that I can still go back to those threads or conversations or connect with people that haven't connected in a while. So I think that is another reason why, I think it's still worthwhile, right? Because the art world is still very much connected in Instagram.
I love Instagram for that reason too. The way that we're able to use the app versus maybe some other apps, it seems so much more simple.
Yeah.
And I would much rather be reaching out and connecting with people I don't know in the DMs than say on Facebook. It just seems more clunky there. I don't know if you feel that same way, but I feel like connecting with people and sending messages and just the way that we can go and use the app, the usability of it is really just still very good.
Absolutely. Totally. I agree with that. And then the last one, my friends, the last reason why I think you should still, be on Instagram and take it really seriously, even if you are, also moving to other platforms, is also because you still have the opportunity to push any content that you think you want to get to more people, through paid advertisement. That's still an option, right? In which if you are doing a promotion, if you have an event happening and so on, you can push that content with strategic, marketing and figure out targeting so that people that you're looking for looks at that ad. I still use it, if I'm doing a workshop or something, or if sometimes I look at my analytics on Instagram and say, okay, this post actually did really well. Well, I'm going to give it, $10 so just to push it to more people. And that usually brings in more followers because that's a post that has already been tested to be good.
Love that.
So having that option is good,
All very good points. Yes, I love that the last option too, because I think when you start being strategic about placing ads, then you're going to be able to measure, what those dollars are really doing for you on the return to to whatever it is that you're promoting. So
right, and they have made it so easy now. Even with Instagram stories, you can now boost any Instagram story. So it's just with a click of a button. So it makes sense once in a while. So for all these 4 reasons, my friend, I say that it's still worth my time, every second of my time, when I go in the app to do the things that I need to do, because I think it's still very relevant. Even as we transition and we move elsewhere, I think keeping track of what we're doing there, I think is worthwhile. And if you, my friend, if you want to check more about this, as Beth said, about a strategy, I'm going to be doing a free webinar, totally free, on February 14, Valentine's Day. So if you don't have a date, you can come with me. And we have a date together on February 14. I'm doing actually 2 webinars, so one in the morning, one in the evening, all about Instagram, kind of talking about what's working right now on Instagram. So if you want to check that out, you want to sign up, we just go to theartistnextlevel.com/IG 2021. Super easy. And I'm going to put the link in the description so it's easier. But I hope to see you there. It's going to be fun. I'll be sharing some of the things that I'm doing right now on my Instagram.
Awesome. I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Beth, and thank you to our friends who joined us today. If you have any comments, your own experience on Instagram, what's had been like, please share it here in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And I know, frustration is probably one of those things that everybody's experiencing on Instagram. However, there's still things that we can do, to make it better and spend the time on the things that matter, not spending time on things that are just wasting our time and won't do any results. So
love it.
Well, Beth, where can our friends can find you on Instagram? So we're talking about Instagram.
Find me at Beth English on Instagram and Facebook, and my website's bethenglish.com.
And on TikTok?
And TikTok.
Excellent.
And Twitter and Foursquare and MySpace.
And Clubhouse. So, and our friends, you can also find me everywhere at Sergio Gomez Art. Hope to see you next Wednesday, and it's going to be a really good episode. I know it already. So have a good one, everybody. Bye. Bye.